Teams from across the UP are looking to head into districts on a high note. Good evening, everyone. Senior year of high school. Man, were those some fun times. I spent the entire year wearing headphones so nobody would bother me, and they weren't even plugged into anything. No, sorry, Brian. I can't hear you over the silence in my ears. Tonight was senior night across the UP as many of the girls' basketball teams wrapped up their regular seasons. We begin tonight's action in Ishpeming as the Hematites hosted rivals Negaunee. Second quarter, Miners up 7. Crystal Clara Johnson says, let's make it 10. The triple goes down as Negaunee starts rolling. Little later, it's the fresh face, Chloe Norman with the long 2. Nothing but net. Miners took a 13-point lead at the half. But the Hematites would get back into this one. Marissa Mino dishes to Katie Low-Key Lohman, and she hits the shot there. Ishpeming cutting through the deficit. Moments later, it's Johnson driving into the paint, floats one up, and it goes off the glass and in. Negaunee back up by 13, and they would keep adding to it. Haley Fazat on the drive, and the Fez scores there as the Miners' lead was now up to 15. And the Miners go on to win this one 44-34 as they finish the season at 15-5. To the scoreboards now, as Norway gets the road win over Kingsford 41-37. Jordan Kramer scored 19 points for the Knights, who finished the season with a 19-1 record. St. Ignace has no trouble with Sheboygan as they get the win 62-13. North Dickinson gets 24 points from Juliana Wickman as the Nordics top Carney-Nadeau 47-39. And Mid-Peninsula gets a road win over North Central 35-35. Haley Trudell had 12 points for the Wolverines. Sierra Debelak had 10 for the Jets. Let's go to Marquette now. Redettes wrapping up their season against Menominee. First quarter, Maroons looking good early on. Morgan Roman Noodles with the bucket there to dent the scoreboard first. Marquette answers back, ball inside to Kelsey Grange, and KG gets the layup to go. This game is tied up early on. A little later, ball goes to Karina the ballerina Anderson, and that's a silky smooth shot. Anderson gives Menominee a 4-point lead. More from the Maroons. This time it's Erica with an A. Belisle hitting the mid-range jumper. Menominee took an 8-point lead at that point, but Marquette began to battle back. Amber Hubner with the shot, and Hughes nails it for the Redettes. It would be a close one as Marquette hangs on to beat Menominee 34-32 as they finish the season with a 17-3 record. More scores as Chassell beat Hancock 47-41. Millie Allen had 21 for the Panthers. Maya Sebis scored 27 for the Bulldogs. In overtime, it was Jeffers hanging on to beat Lance 61-58. Julia Nordstrom scored 34 for the Jets. The Purple Hornets were led by Bailey Froberg and her 16 points. Another overtime game as Dollar Bay beats Ewan Trout Creek 45-38 despite 18 points from Panthers 8th grader Elise Bessinen. And it was Beriga over Watersmeet 82-37. Carson Osterman had 26 for the Vikings. Bethany Baldwin had 30 for the Nimrods as she became the all-time leading scorer for their school with 1,368 points. Let's go to Rapid River now as Marissa Immel and the Mustangs face the Rockets. And I'm sure Immel just shafted the referee on that fist bump. All right, there we go. Off the tip-off, a nice moment here as senior Madison Bagwell scores the first basket of the game despite having a cast on her left wrist. Cool gesture there by Munising. A little later, Frankie Buckets Matson scores to keep the game tied early on. And if it ain't broke, don't fix it, as Munising goes back inside to Matson and she scores again. That gave the Mustangs the lead. Rockets still hanging around. Rachel Bintner for 3, and R&B gets nothing but net there. However, the Mustangs would be too much as Immel would score 23 points, including hitting the 1,000-point mark for her career. Munising comes away with the win 74-26. To Harris now as the Lady Broncos hosted the #1 team in Class D, Forest Park. First quarter, shot is blocked, but Rosie Josie Greenfield is there to clean it up to give BRH their first basket of the game. A little later, it's Kelsey Shorty Boucher on the drive, and she would score there. Broncos up 5-0 early on, but the Trojans would eventually get on the board. Hannah Hulk Logan, nothing but net on that 3. Forest Park still down 1. Moments later, from almost the same exact spot, it's Hannah Cross for 3, no good, but Jenna Grabowski cleans it up as the big Grabowski gives the Trojans the lead. But the Broncos brought a stampede tonight. Cassidy Stannard scores the layup here. C-Stan led the way with 18 points as BRH wins it on senior night 73-60. And one high school hockey score to report as Calumet gets the home shutout over Marquette 3-0 as they claim a share of the Great Lakes Conference title. Trevor Salazar, Trevor Johnson, and Ed Beering scored for the Copper Kings. Final night of the GLIAC basketball season, NMU facing MTU. First quarter ball inside to Michelle Lefebvre, and she makes a nice move to the basket to score. A little later, Huskies work the ball around until it reaches Lindsay Winner for three, and booyah. Michigan Tech absolutely scorching. Northern tried to keep it close. Bree Gasparovich drives and scores there. She led NMU with 14 points, but MTU would turn this one into a blowout as they get the win, 70-37, the final score. To the men's game now, and the Huskies would get a lot of points in the paint, but they can still score from deep. Brian Heath hits the triple there for MTU. Wildcats answer back with a three of their own. Sam Taylor nails the long-distance shot. Moments later, it's Kyle Monroe driving. He gets double-teamed, then he dishes to Jordan Chartier for another three. Buckets. Huskies led by 8 at the half. NMU staying within striking distance. Taylor with another three, but the Wildcats couldn't slow down the Huskies. Monroe for three, and he scores 19 points for him. MTU wins it 85-80.